Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon for those of us on the East Coast, and good morning to the rest of you. I'm excited about today, John. I mean, we've got, look, here's what I've learned in all my years of real estate. I'm Stephanie Gillison. I'm out of Louisville, Kentucky. I've been in the business 25 years. And as Jim Lambright likes to say, I've been in the real estate business since the 1900s. So how many of you can say that, right? P.S. I'm only 46. I say that.
Recording in progress.
Right? Let's get everybody muted, John. Please. All right, we're gonna have a packed day today, but listen, I unbelievably, just a handful of years ago, met this powerhouse, young, rock star mentality agent who, came into my life and watched him go from being a team member and doing very well to being a solo agent and just totally blowing it out of the park, to the extent that it got my attention. And I said, Anthony, what are you doing? I need to understand what you're doing. Because here's the thing, when we're in real estate for a long time, we think we've mastered everything, right? But there's always a new way to generate business. And Anthony, who I'm going to say all of this because it's 100% the truth, Anthony barely ever leaves his house. And that's because he is dedicated to these three beautiful girls. And he is a phenomenal dad. And he has been raising them. But at the same time, he has been building this stellar real estate career that I'm telling you right now, look, guys, I make over $500,000 every year consistently in gross commission income. But I'm jealous of Anthony because he's figured out something that I can't figure out. Why? Because I haven't sat down and taken the time to do that. And so we begged him to come on here today, drop as many nuggets for you as you can. I'm going to be taking notes myself. This is getting recorded. It will show up on our YouTube channel. But listen, even if you're selling as much property as you can possibly handle, go into the fact that now you could build a 33-person team like Anthony's part of and keep going bigger and bigger. And it doesn't take you driving around miles upon miles every single day and week in your car, because Anthony's done it by not leaving his house. So Anthony Reddington, I hope I did you justice.
You did. You did great.
Anthony, you've been in the real estate business, what, 4 years?
Going on 8 years now.
8 years. But okay, 8 years. But how long have you been on your own? Not part of.
Well, I was on my own, did the mistake of joining the team. And then, on one of those teams that, they take half your money and don't give you all the value that you need. And then I left that and then solo agent for here on out. And then over the last year, I got with 5 other high producing agents here in Louisville, and we created our team, and now we're up to like 33 members.
Amazing, amazing. All right, you all. Well, we're not going to talk about how you build a team. Today, we're going to talk about lead generation and how Anthony has been able to build this unbelievable, what is it? How many in volume did you do and didn't leave your couch? We'll call it your office chair. We'll call it your
office chair. About 10 million last year, just roughly slightly under. And apparently the hardest market in the last 30 years. So
there you go.
And this year, hopefully I don't leave the house at all. Don't scare anybody with my looks, and do a little bit more than that heading into what I hopefully is just a fun spring for everybody. So I guess I joke that I'm just a stay-at-home dad. I'm a trophy husband to a career doctor, and I do have 3 daughters. So I like to joke that I drink a lot, but I don't. A lot of Diet Coke, a lot of caffeine to keep going with that. But so I created these systems within the realm, and then I went searching for other free systems to provide extra referrals that come in. So that's how I basically, so that's the business overall. And then I want to take you guys into what that really looks like, and then how to start setting that up for yourself. So you actually have something to go do today if you choose to do that. So the very first thing is your sphere. Everybody says it, but they never tell you exactly how to go about getting it done. Go to Facebook, download all your friends, and then use the Forewarn app that we get that free here in Louisville through our MLS, and backtrack your friends, find their phone numbers, find their addresses, then set them in your database. Start sending them market reports monthly, and start hitting, the ground running with your sphere because they know you. And that's what I did as a brand new agent, because I have no family here in Louisville at all, other than myself, my wife, and my kids. Forewarn, Forewarn. And you can track people that way. And then just set them up on those monthly market searches so they know that you are a real estate agent. And then what I started to do was, when I started sending these market reviews, I'm like, who else do you know? Do you know your neighbor? And then they started giving me their neighbors, and that's how I started building my CRM, my database that way. And then from there, I went hunting for referral sites. Now, I paid Zillow a lot of money. I'm not guilty of that, but I left there because there's so many free sites out there that you can market on, get, and then pay at closing. Because I don't know for you, Stephanie, or not, but pay at closing, I rather do than pay up front, because now I know that my value, I can get them to the closing table, and then I'm willing to give a referral fee. So
That's right.
And then some of these websites, a lot of people don't know of. And guys, if you're tracking referral sites, Fast Agent is a really good one. That's free. HomeLight, that's free. OpCity, that's free. Effective Agent, that's all free. And these are all websites, companies that will advertise to get leads, and they send you leads or referrals for that percentage at closing. I'm sorry. I keep seeing chat ask me questions too.
Anthony, you don't look at the chat. When
Okay.
we monitor that chat for you, and we're going to break it all down as people put questions in there, and we'll pause and answer and address some of those, but keep going. Okay.
Okay. But that is right. Sorry, Forewarn doesn't give you email addresses though, but if you have their name and you know how to work a PVA, you can find their home address that you can set up those home values. So that's what I did. And then I guess the number one thing of the system too, is you have to surround yourself with very high producing other real estate agents, or else this system falls apart. Because I'm 100% referral out this year. I plan on not leaving my seat at home altogether. I got to turn off the chat, or else I'm going to laugh at some of these comments. So that's how you start the system with lead gen. And then I don't know where you want me to go with that, Stephanie.
Well, so basically what I want to make sure, today is that, there's a lot of opportunities in real estate to achieve business. And no, you don't have to, spend thousands of dollars with Zillow. One of the most important things, and this is a true statistic, in 2023, Zillow sold over 65 million leads to realtors like yourselves. But in the entire United States, there was less than 5.5 million real estate transfers. Think about that for a second. So look at how much you're paying for that is just, sticking in Zillow's bank account. There's not that many leads to sell. Okay. And so the reason why we wanted Anthony to come on here today is, one, to discuss there's other avenues to get referrals where you can, receive the referral from some of these companies and then pay at the closing table a referral fee. But then I also want you to dive into your book and what you read to get motivated, and what you've been doing with Google, because this is where it's mind-blowing for a lot of people, and especially myself.
So actually, you guys, if you need a really good book to read, I brought it. It's called Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blunt. I wish the screen wouldn't
put it in front of your chest.
There we go. Can we read that? There we go. It won't but this is a really good book, especially if you're getting started. I've read this thing probably 3 to 4 times now over the last 8 years. And usually December is my go-to to get me started for the next year. And it will get you motivated on, you know, the 30-day rule, the law of the replacement, law of familiarity, biceps is social selling, telephone framework. It has a lot of good nuggets in there. And this book's been out there for a while, but if you've not read this, this is fantastic to get your hands on. And then I'm glad that you mentioned Google. If you're not on Google and you're not on the front page of Google, you don't exist. And I think the statistics said 80% of home searches on the internet go through Google, and Google owns YouTube. So usually YouTube and Google is where these buyers and sellers are going to find their real estate agent. So if you've not set up your Google business page, I highly recommend it. There is a lot of YouTube videos out there. Myself, I've started doing YouTube training for my team. You can just Google search my name on YouTube and find the video to help you set up your Google page. But I spent the last 2.5 months setting Google up, feeding the machine, because I was not doing it correctly for 7 years. And now today's day 22, and I've gotten 18 direct organic free leads off of my Google business page that has been free just this year. Oh, you're muted, Stephanie. I can't hear you.
Oh, Anthony, let's break that down now. Okay, so for 7.5 years, you were set up wrong on Google. And set up wrong on Google just means you put a Google business page out there, but you kind of just let it be. Is that the case?
That is true. You know, you go to Google Business. I don't even think I had a Google business page. So if you Google searched me, you were probably finding yourself to Realtor.com or Zillow.
Okay. Okay. So talk to us about Google business page and what you've done correctly in the last month to net you 18 real free leads directly, organically off the internet.
So Google loves Google systems. And when you first set up your Google page, it will actually, can I share screen? I'll just
do a share
walk through
screen.
the steps, because if you're not, let me open up a new window here, because there are two, let's see, business profile. And then there is Google local services, which are two different things that we'll have to dive into.
Okay.
All right, let me go to Zoom and then share screen. All right, so is that showing correctly?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can. All right. I don't share a lot in Zoom, guys, so bear with me. So Google business profile, you can literally type in Google business profile, and this was the first link that pops up. And if you're not here, you don't exist in Google. And you can click manage, and then it took you to my page, which is fine. We'll let me dive back into, I'm so sorry, it wasn't supposed to go to this page.
It's okay. It's because you're signed in, probably.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to move the Zoom controls around. Let me see here. I'm going to have to do incognito mode. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So Google business profile. Come in, hit manage. Here it is.
Anthony, we're still on your old screen.
Are you still on
your entire screen? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Once again, sorry, guys.
It's okay. We've got time. Free leads, 18 free leads to wait for you to figure out how to share your screen. We're all in with you, man.
All right. So all I did, can you see this now? Sorry.
Yes.
So
yes.
This, and then I hit manage now, and it came to here. And then I'm going to use, I'll just use one that I know I'm not set up, which is my Fall City Property Management, which is my where I hold most of my rental properties. What is my password? That is a good question.
Uh-oh.
Yep. There it goes.
Second try.
So it brings you here. You have your LLC, Fall City Management, which is a nickname for Louisville. And we also have Fall City Beer. So you can guess what I was drinking the night that I created this. Property Management LLC. So here on mine, let me actually Google search myself. So you will see what will show up. So here you have Anthony Reddington, Global Partner Group, which is my group, eXp Realty. I would do your name. I would do whoever your broker by. If you have a team name, I would put it all in there. Does it not let me?
Right there. There you go.
There we go. All right, so you come in here and you are a service business. Do not put local store because that will change the algorithm and everything else for your real estate business. But you can come in here, you can go to service business, and then you start filling this out. And they have a nice category for us already, real estate agent. If you click agency, that's fine. You can change it, but real estate agent. And then this is where you type in as many areas as possible. You know, Louisville, Kentucky, we have 110 little townships in our county, where most of it was merged back in 2006. So just for time and reasons, you have that. You add all this information.
And so while you're doing that, Anthony, someone asked in the chat, do you have to have an LLC in order to set up this business? No, because you're doing a service business. And so it could literally be your name, comma, Realtor. Okay.
Yep. So it puts your business, there's a couple more that you can do. This puts your business on the map. I don't want to click continue because I don't want to put my business on the map. So you click here, we'll ask you a couple things. And then Google wants you to get verified for your business page now. So it will ask you to do a video of a street sign, where your office is, and then yourself opening the door to the business. And it wants one continuous business. And that's been the hardest thing for a lot of people to get verified, especially if you don't have a office that you go to. So what do? Well, some agents that have done this training is like, well, I put my home address as my business address. And now when people search real estate agents close to me, you'll be number one that pops up in that neighborhood. I personally don't want my address out there, but other agents do it. And then you'll come to this. Let me see. Let me go back to my actual page. So once you did it switch pages?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you have it all in here, you come to this lovely your business on Google. And then your profile strength should be like, it will say red, it will say you suck. And then you start feeding the Google machine. Your phone number that you put in here, fine and dandy for your mobile phone number, but you should probably download Google Voice and use a Google number because Google likes Google products and Google SEO loves Google products being used. So that's where I have my phone. And then you start adding information to your profile. So when people find you, they have things to go to. So if your goal is for more leads, which it should be, you should feed this machine. So edit products. I went to Canva. I made these pretty homes for sale in St. Matt's, which is one of our areas here in Louisville. Homes for sales for St. Matthews, buying a house. I have different categories, little description, and then the website. So if you came to my page, let me click back to the incognito page. And I didn't do it right because I got too many going on. Let me exit out of this one. All right, you come here and you come down to my products, and There we go. View products. Home for Shelbyville. Searching for homes. You can find the perfect match. You click visit site. It takes you to my website. And now it's showing you all the homes for sale in that zip code.
So
now,
this is awesome, Anthony. Hold on. I want to slow down and make sure they understand this for a second.
I start
So
talking.
what he's done under his products, he's used a, Canva for an image. And then these are links that he's built out on his own website. So when you go to your website and you're searching all these different areas, maybe it's a subdivision, maybe it's a sub-city, maybe it's a town within a bigger city. You just add those links to it. And so this is awesome, Anthony, because I see why Google loves you and why you keep showing up #1 is because you have loaded this filled with information where most of us just come up with a business page listing and that's it. Maybe we're getting reviews, but we're not feeding the system. So keep going, Anthony. This is awesome.
You have to feed the machine or else the machine won't love you. That's kind of how I refer to Google. It's like the pet that you love, that you want to nurture and let it grow because it will reward you in the end. So you do your different products. I have several different things I have for buying a home, all the different little areas around town. I put real estate links to the blog, but this is different than the actual blog on here, and then selling your home, what your home's worth, what every person needs to know in selling. And it all goes back to your web page. So however you do your web page, mine is through KV Core. Then you have your reviews. You can have Zillow linked right to your business profile. If you have Zillow reviews, you can see 117. I don't ask for Zillow reviews anymore because they removed half my Zillow reviews in the last 6 months. Because when I first started, you didn't need to have a client account connected to the client sale that you are adding to Zillow. So Zillow's dead to me. And I've trying to go back to all my past clients and get them to do Google reviews. And when you hit the 100 Google review mark, that opens up a different SEO connection to your profile, which Google will advertise for you more. And I'm not quite there yet, but we're hammering on 2.5 months to get 8 years worth of reviews done. It's fantastic. You connect all your profiles. And then sorry. There should be, and I don't see it on this one, which is interesting. Maybe well, you have your description. Let me switch back. I'm very familiar with this and not looking on the other side end. So you have your products, questions and answers. That's another big one too. So I went out and I basically chat GTP'd and did a vote on my Facebook on like 10 questions that you would have to buy or sell houses. And then I wrote those questions myself. And then I gave myself the answers. And these questions, when people type into Google, like, how do I choose a real estate agent? I pop up as a question and answer, my profile does. So I get people that are just trying to figure out how to choose a real estate agent. And then from there, this is the most important, ad update. You have to feed the machine every day. And that is blogs. And you just cannot do my most viewed updates, which if you hit add update, you add a description, pictures, and then always learn more. It's very inviting, invites you to learn more. But you come over here to my blog. I did one for our indoor swimming pools in Louisville yesterday, 5 views. I've had one where I talked about bourbon and it has over 100. And then today I posted, you come back, I went to what is that blog? KCM, their blog. And I basically took their blog, rewrote it with ChatGPT. So this is not hard for, somebody to do. I'm not a genius when it comes to writing. And I did the blog. Now the pictures are another SEO target that Google likes. Google likes you to add 4 pictures a day. And you're like, 4 real estate pictures? No, just 4 pictures. So all the pictures I used on that blog, I would add to my profile. But here's the kicker. They want them geotagged. And there is a website, and I'm actually right here, Tool Geo IMGR, where you click where your office is or wherever you want the pictures to be tagged from, download the pictures, and then you write the EXIF tags and download the picture again. And then you upload that picture that you downloaded from here with the tag into Google. Google loves Google tags because that goes back to your Google business page.
Anthony, real
Yes.
quick, I mean, you're giving us, I mean, this is amazing. This is so awesome. I love this. I can't wait to have this video on recording and send it out to my own team members and make sure each and every one of them do this.
You'd be surprised how many agents do not have a Google profile. And like I said, if you don't exist on the first page of Google, you don't exist. So
Exactly.
in 2.5 months out of 5,000 agents in my area, I am now ranked 32nd on Google. So I'm not quite first page yet, but we're getting there.
But that's awesome because that's only been 2.5 months. And let's be clear to the audience today too, because you are not an IT background at all. Before Anthony got into real estate, what did you teach? Math or history?
I taught history.
Yeah, history.
I taught history
So
for
he
5
was
years.
he was not in the computer lab teaching computer science. Okay. So this is all from you diving in and doing the research because you knew there was a better way than spending all your hard-earned money buying leads that didn't amount to anything.
Yep. I went, just so people know why I went to Google was I went to our yearly company conference, and I went and sat in on a session, and a gentleman was in there speaking on, I think it was Aaron Kinn, Kinn, and he has a really good Google business page and he does YouTube. And he just laid all this out, and I was like, well, if Google is going to be the way for all these new buyers, they preach to us how great when interest rates are dropping. So if you're not working with more buyers or sellers, how else are you going to do your business? So I really tapped into that, and I spent the last 2 months of last year and then into this year correcting my Google business page.
Awesome.
So once you have this set up, they will try to get you to advertise. I'm not against advertising your Google business page, but it's more for interactions and clicks. And what I want are direct phone calls. So what that sets up is, and this is, like I said, this is very tedious, information heavy up front, but once you get it set up and add it to your daily time schedule, it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes now to feed Google, and then I just move on with my day. So let me see here. So Google local ads is your next thing. So once you have your business page set up, Google local services. This is completely separate from your Google business page. And this is how you get a lot of direct phone calls. And this, if you wanted to pay for ads and stuff, this is where you would go. And what
Now,
this
Anthony,
really,
out of the last 2.5 months, have you done this piece of it, or you're just strictly on the organic side?
No, I've done leads too, just because I was testing to see what it all looked like. Because some of the people where I went was getting educated swore by advertising from the business page. Other ones swore by local ads. And I think they all feed the machine for organic, but it's not bad showing up, because what you want to do with local ads is you want to become verified on Google. That little green little check mark that comes up next to your profile.
Okay.
This will take weeks to do. So when you get started, it won't take you weeks. It will take Google weeks to get you all in. So you come in here, you have to retype everything in because this is different than the Google business page. But local ads will connect to your reviews. It will connect slightly to your business page, but you have to add all this information. And the long one that takes a long time is the background check. That was about 2.5 weeks. And that was also me calling them and trying to figure out why it was taking so long. And this is where when you type in, you get that green little check mark in Google screened. And you do not need to run ads to have that green check mark show up on your search. But this if I was going to advertise, this is where I would advertise because this will get you direct phone calls.
Okay. What's the cost in this, Anthony?
So just over the 2 months playing with the different advertising, Google local ads, I think I've spent $300 and I've gotten from the ad 6 direct phone calls from that. And that's not the 18 I was telling you about. Those were organic. Those were paid. So, and those ranged from, one thought I was a medical system, clicking on ads, but you can dispute. So, you can dispute the leads so Google doesn't charge you.
Okay.
And even if they come through here, or if you use Google Voice for your phone number, all your Google numbers will automatically record your conversations too. So if you're busy and you get sidetracked because you have a 3-year-old that just came down with a dirty diaper and your 9-year-old is beating the crap out of the 7-year-old over a video game, like my life lives, I forget what I just talked about. So I can go back to those recordings and hit play. And that's very nice because I just don't have that recording all the time on my phone during normal conversations. And then if you refer those leads out like I do to other agents, I send them the recording so they understand what that client is directly looking for too.
I'm having so many aha moments, and I'm going to share that. I'm going to say this out loud because I think it's important. So Anthony, you've been spending the last couple of months doing this. It's 18 unpaid leads is what it's led to. You've had 6 paid leads, $300, big whoop. The 6 are going to amount to at least what, $2-3 million in sales volume potentially.
And I spent an additional 300 through the Google business for those clicks and the impressions. I didn't like any of that because I got nothing happened with those.
Yeah, so keep it just organic and just keep feeding it every day because that's where you've seen the biggest benefit, which is completely free. It's just your time, right? It's just your time, but time is what gets us business. That's how we scale and grow our business. But here's what I've just been hearing or thinking about is, you and I had a conversation a few months back, and you said, what I've been learning, Stephanie, I'm going to implement and I'm going to prove it. And then I'm going to take it on to that larger scale. And now I know exactly what you're going to do because there's going to be an Anthony Reddington in all kinds of different cities coming out, right? And you're going to feed the machine every single moment of the day. And that is where you're going to, instead of just worrying about the local referrals, you're going to start going national and potentially global with these referrals.
That is true. So I started researching on how to tap into different IDX databases for the MLS systems. So I can go send out the EXP calls it my link, my referral, right? That I can use that link to tap into these different websites I want to create. And the fun part is if they're all sub under my main profile that I already have going, I can put it anywhere in the world and it won't take me as much time to build in that area. Those people that are searching in just those areas will start contacting me. So I'm just trying to build basically a Google powerhouse referral machine. And my goal this year, I did 44 referrals last year, close to 10 million. This year, I want to double that. And I want to see Google be the majority of that because that will lead to less money out of pocket because it's all organic and all free.
I love that.
Go.
Well, and you all, I want you to grasp what he said. He did $10 million in referrals last year. Think about that for a second. 10 million referral volume, okay? That's great money to not have the search and the, holding the buyer's hand. You're doing no negotiation. You're earning money. You're keeping other agents in business, right? By sending them these referrals. So just imagine if you are that agent that wants to list, and you build your Google machine to power yourself to be the queen or king of listing in your areas, what that's going to amount to as well too. So this is awesome. This is awesome.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to pull up the chat, Anthony. Is there any other things that you wanted to show us before we start diving into some of these questions?
Believe that is
there. All right, I'm gonna go up to, we got a lot of stuff happening in the chat. All right, let's see here. Okay, what is PVA? Property valuation. Oh, laugh out loud. Okay, they knew it that way.
Some people don't know what it is. I wouldn't be surprised because you do get some agents that have never researched a property because they're so buyer heavy.
Yeah.
Never gone in and looked at the listing side.
Okay. How do you feel about buying Google leads from KV Core? Do you ever do that, Anthony?
So I've looked into, I think the program is actually called Making It Rain through KV Core, and they do all your digital advertising. I've talked to several agents that's done it and they've not been happy. So I've just tried to stay away from it at this point.
Okay.
I'm definitely not against spending advertising dollars as long as the return is there.
Right.
Because I have the belief that some money is better than no money. And that's what I try to focus on.
Okay, another question. Does DuckDuckGo have a business page like Google? I'm not even sure what that is. Do you know?
I'm not quite sure either. Okay. That sounds very familiar. Like I've talked about that, but I've not researched
okay
at all. I would have to get back to whoever said that and it's a private search engine. I do know that your Google business, so if you use another browser, like what is Microsoft's browser? Bing, your Google search will not show up on Bing as well as it just shows up on Google.
Okay.
So that is different too. Bing has their separate things, and I'm just not diverse.
Okay.
DuckDuckGo is Google. I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if it's similar information, I already have that information. Why not?
Awesome. Yeah, no.
I'm writing me a note.
Now, Anthony, in your YouTube video where you show people how to set up their Google page, do you also show them how to link Zillow to it?
So Zillow should actually have in their settings where you copy and you paste your Google profile, or it might be vice versa. It's been a while since I've done that, a month. And actually we're going to do training on that this week in the office because we've had a lot of agents, like I said, was not on Google, and I've done 2 trainings on my YouTube, just getting you set up on the profile and then local services to start that process because it takes a while. Okay.
DuckDuckGo is a new browser like Google, but does not follow you around. Okay, cool.
That's interesting. I'm going to research that. I wonder what they have.
I've never heard of it, so we learned something else new. All right. Well, we've gotten through the chat. Does anybody else have any other questions they want to unmute their mic and ask? How many people think their Google business page is as thorough as Anthony's? That's what I want to know, because mine's not. I got a lot of work to do.
So Anthony, on those products, I was looking at my page. I do have the Google business page. So two questions. So the products, you can just add the products, you just create a image on Canva, and you link it to a search within your website that's already almost a landing page or something within your website. Is that, did I follow you properly?
Yes, you did. So you create the landing page on however you do it for the search, excuse me. And then you take that link and you just plug it into that product. And you can
Okay.
change that image and that link at your whim. They usually update within 5 to 10 minutes of
Okay.
doing
And
it.
then you recommend having I do have a Google Voice number. I don't get a lot of action on that. I usually have my cell phone number on the Google page, but you recommend having your Google Voice number there as opposed to your cell phone number?
I do. I've seen an
Okay.
increase. I changed it probably mid-December. And then I've seen the increase of phone calls from Google. And Google likes you, especially your hours of operation. If you're going to have 24 hours of operation, you better answer your phone 24 hours because they track all that. Just like like you're paying Zillow and Zillow wants you to answer your phone when they send you a live lead, so does Google. So if you're 24 hours and you like to sleep like me, get yourself a auto answering service that you can hit your Google Voice number to forward to. That's very simple through the app to set up, where you can forward phone calls to and have those. And I will tell you, I do not have a company that answers my phone, and I've only missed one phone call in the last 2 months that's come in like 2 a.m. And they left a message, and they were not looking for a real estate agent.
So do you have that auto answering service set up or no?
I do not. I've been
Okay.
researching a couple, and they seem to run from uh like 150 on up is
Oh,
what I've seen per month, and I don't think I'm quite there yet on my call volume to do that. I don't see the value in it yet.
gotcha. And last question, I saw on my profile thing, they want to give you like $500 of free advertising. Is there a catch or just, I mean, it
Yep.
seems pretty straightforward, but
They'll give you 500 because they want you to spend more money, and that is for your Google business profile. That's for those clicks and impressions. And you can drive, and they have different campaigns that you can set up that drives them to your website, because ultimately that's where you want them instead of Zillow and Realtor to capture their information. But
Mhm.
I've spent like a $300 on that plus that 500 free, and I think I got one or two people to my actual website from those campaigns. I just didn't see the value in the business profile because it seems like they were searching me from where they were driving down the road on their mobile app, because that tracks that if they're doing it from a mobile or a desktop, and it will show you all that data if you go that route.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for the questions. But those, oh, go ahead, Stephanie.
Well, I was gonna say, Anthony, Tony is at the verification stage, but he's used his home address and he's stuck. He still just does the video of him opening the door to his front door of his house, right?
Yeah, it should, on that verification, it should tell you what they want in the video. And then once you click on the video, it will take you to their website that opens up the camera to record. You can't just do it on your own. You have to go through their QR code or their link that they send you. And
Perfect.
then,
Okay, Robin says she paid about $2K to have a presence on Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant. This is different from Google searches. How do you feel about that? Voice searches does not use Google.
so I've looked into Alexa, and her and I argue all the time at the house of when she wants to be turned on and when she doesn't. So I have not had any experience with Siri or Alexa actually being paid. Google Assistant, I've looked into just because once again, Google likes Google, and I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
And I'm not proficient or current on it, so I wouldn't want to give anybody any information on that at this point because I'm not. I would have to just start researching it again.
You know, I'm going to say this again because I think it's just so awesome. I love your honesty, Anthony, because you really are not some IT or Google's like, it's not like you've mastered it, but you did dive in and figure this pieces out. You're so kind to come here and give us all these nuggets. Cause like I said, I couldn't wait for today because I knew you were up to something and that equaled greatness because I saw your numbers just explode. And I'm thinking, what the heck is Anthony doing? I need to know this. So Thanks for sharing all that. But guys, I mean, that's what's so great about this is any of us can do it. We just got to put in the time. Um, totally awesome. Did somebody else have another question?
Steph, I just wanted to let everybody know that I put some of our links in the chat. If people want to go to the YouTube to find the recording, it should be up by the end of the day, probably in a couple of hours. We also have a website. If you want to learn a little bit more about what we're doing, we've got an events tab where we post all of our events, but we also have a Facebook group. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, and it's just a place for, if you want to share a referral, you're looking for a referral partner somewhere, or just to stay in touch with our masterminds and what we've got coming up. That's a place where you can learn more about Grow Global and what we're doing.
Awesome.
Hey, Stephanie, can I add just one extra thing?
Please.
When he said website, if your website is a subdomain of another website, so like EXP gives you anthonyreddington.exp.com when you join, you need to get a vanity website of your own for Google. Because if people come to your website, you're not feeding your website, you're not feeding your page, you're actually feeding the head domain, which would have been expreally.com. So for that website in particular. So if you have a company website that is a subdomain and you have like KV Core is very easy to do. It's called a vanity address. You go to, GoDaddy or whatever, host by yourself a website address, your name, does real estate, Anthony Reddington sells Louisville, or like my team is EXP GPG Global Partners Group. But now that it's its own head domain, it starts feeding itself instead of the up above it. So that actually, I changed that at the end of December too, and was one of the major turning points to all that. Sorry.
Yeah. So you can still use your company website that's provided, just by your own domain name so that it doesn't feed the head company's website. Okay, you all, like gillisandglobal.com is my website, but it might be, my brokerage. All right. Any other questions?
Question. I do. I have a quick, easy question. I had asked, well, maybe I got confused along the way because I'm as green can be with technology. You mentioned at some point, Anthony, that you called, I believe, Google for questions, or was I mistaken?
No, so Google Local Services has a very good phone number that's right on their page. And I would recommend, especially when you're getting Google Local Services set up, to call them to make sure that you have everything in there, because Google wants you to be, successful on that site, because that's paid advertising after they screen you and stuff. So they want you to spend money. So they're going to spend the time to make sure you're optimized. I've been on 2 to 3 phone calls with them, just making
Okay,
sure.
so it's Google Local Services. I'd be able to get that number on if I just Google that.
Yep. When you go
Okay.
and you just Google, it should be right on their front page.
Thank you. You've been the best. I really appreciate this.
Yeah.
And anybody can reach out, call me, text me, whatever, afterwards. And I'm an open book, and I'm just blunt honest about everything.
We
Love
appreciate
it. In light of all this craziness, you are a tall drink of water.
Thanks.
Now it's big, okay? Slow down, people. Tall drink of water, Anthony. Good job, Madeline.
Clear, cold water.
That's fantastic. Love that. And then if anybody missed the very beginning, of course, that book, Financial Prospecting, really helps get you in line too for your lead gen on how to actually talk to your leads once you get to them and follow up. So
Perfect. Well, this has been awesome today. Any final questions, anyone? All right.
I appreciate everybody listening.
I don't listen to it, but can you tell me again, what about the pictures again? You said there are 4 pictures a day, and I'm like, what? The talk about the 4 pictures.
So Google on your business profile likes you to feed pictures, images, and they like them Google tagged or geotagged, excuse me. So when somebody's searching that area, it will be linked to your profile for those pictures. So they like 4. I'm sure more is better, but at least 4 a day.
What are those for? I mean, what are those pictures like? What do you do? I want to hear, what do you do with your pictures?
So any picture, so there are, here, can I share my screen?
Yeah,
again?
that'd be good. I want to see it.
Um,
Because I love pictures. I'm like, oh, I like that
So
part.
I'm a real estate agent. I don't know where to go to get pictures. Well, there's a website called unsplash.com
Okay.
and it's free. They're free royalty pictures that you can download. Like this one I had set up for the indoor swimming blog that I did. So I added 4 of these pictures that were downloaded. So what that really looks like is this picture here. If we like it, we click it. There's the download button up here in this corner, and you just download it, and it's free. And it's royalty free.
Do you say anything to the picture? Can you show me what you did with the picture on your website? I mean, I haven't looked, you know.
Yeah.
So you show
So
us here too?
on my website, I have
What
my
other picture you do
blog,
on that day?
and I'm
Yeah.
just going to show you the swimming. So, you know, I can't take a picture with my phone half the time. Thank God I pay people for my listings. But you get the picture, you geotag them in this tool imgr.com. They will let you do 5 geotags per day for free. Okay. So at least 4. And then I just add the photos here to the blog. So now my website has geotag pictures to them. So when these pictures pop up, when I add them to add photo, when I let customer, you should be able to see these photos and now they're geotagged too. So,
Wow, that's amazing.
and then like I said, if you don't not good with blogs like myself, KCRM, Keep Current Matters, you can pay monthly for their service. They do have a free side to it. And I go to their free site all the time and copy, and then I get ChatGPT to rewrite stuff for me. And then I share it that way. Put it on LinkedIn, put it on your Facebook business page also, and have it all linked back to your website. Just feed that machine.
Love it, man. I'm so glad I asked because I'm like, I'm gonna listen to it. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with the pictures again? Awesome. Thank you, Anthony.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Anthony, for today. Don't forget, every Monday, same link, same time. This is what we're doing, helping agents grow and scale their business. So thanks for joining us on Grow Global. John's put the links in. Follow us on YouTube, join the Facebook group. And if you have any exciting ideas like Anthony just brought us today and ways that we can all utilize and grow and scale our business, reach out to us because we'd love to feature you on one of the Monday trainings. See everybody next Monday.
And next Monday, Stephanie, tell them about next Monday special on the on the panel, like a group of all of us on Monday.
So we're going to do a panel of mega producing agents, and we want you to bring your best questions. What are you struggling with? What do you need help with? Because you're going to have several of us here to answer those questions. So it's going to be completely interactive next Monday. So show up, invite your real estate friends, and bring what your struggles are, what you need to do, how do you need to grow, whatever the case might be. Bring those questions because we're going to answer them for you, okay? See you all next Monday.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony.